Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at why they can't get you off their mind. So take a look at all the piles we have today with the person on your mind and see which one you are most drawn to. This can be for anyone on your mind at all. So for pile number 1, we have Fluorite. And we have the Light Seer's Tarot. For pile number 2, we have Purple Agate. And we have the Ethereal Visions Tarot. And for pile number 3, we have Malachite. And we have the Muse Tarot. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. But of course, if you are drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number ones. If you chose this fluorite crystal and the Light Seer's Tarot, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at why they can't get you off their mind. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. But before we get started with your reading, I'd just like to thank and give a quick word to today's sponsorship, Keen. Many of you have asked me recently for personal readings, but unfortunately I'm not available for any right now. So I have brought you the next best thing, Keen. Keen connects you with gifted psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers like myself who are available 24 hours a day. So you can always get a reading whenever it suits you. All you have to do is create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. These readers each have unique specialties designed to provide a deeper understanding of your situation. You can choose whichever reader best suits your needs, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. Getting confirmation or a second opinion from someone who can give you a straightforward answer is always best. And as a tarot reader, I can tell you that it is very hard reading tarot for myself sometimes, as sometimes it doesn't make sense or is unclear. So even I resort to Keen. So let me tell you a little bit about some of my recent experience on Keen. I asked about my love life with my person. She explained to me how devoted he is and that our connection is only getting stronger and better, helping us to build a strong foundation that will only deepen moving into the holidays. She also mentioned us making future plans together no later than February, lol. But we've already started, so I'm very excited to see what unfolds then. She also mentioned that he's very loyal towards the ones he loves and that he doesn't even know what he did to get so lucky to be with me. She mentioned that I changed his world and that he feels like a little kid around me, which is so cute. Lastly, she said that she can see me getting married with him in the future and us having a home together where everyone will always gather together. The love reading I got was very beautiful and sweet, and every detail mentioned was so accurate and on point. Though you can get any type of reading from these readers depending on what you are looking for. I'm so grateful for the reading I got from Keen through their amazing and gifted psychic tarot readers. That's why it's still best to get a personal psychic reading because it is directed only to your energies. Now here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which is up to $99 in savings. Go to trykeen.com/psychicsciencetarot or click the link in my description to save big on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this beautiful opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychicsciencetarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So, getting back to your reading. So, spirit guides of my pile number ones. Spirit guides of my pile number ones. For the person on their mind, why can't they get my pile number ones off their mind? So, in this pile, I felt a little bit of a sensation clairsentiently through feeling of, when you smile so much your cheeks hurt. I think that's the effect you have on this person. We'll see what that means. Let's just get all your cards out. So spirit guides on my pile number ones. For the person on their mind, why can't they get my pile ones off their mind? So we have the Knight of Cups showing up first. We have the Emperor. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the High Priestess. We have the World. I'm feeling a sensation of heartbreak for some of you. If this is a separation, we have the Knight of Swords. That may not resonate with everyone. We have the Hierophant. We have Justice. We have the Moon. Interesting. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Chariot. We have the Two of Cups. And we have the Nine of Wands. At the back of the deck, we have the Ten of Swords. So, as I was mentioning, you make them smile so much their cheeks hurt. We see that confirmation here in the Hierophant with this big smile and laugh, and here in the Knight of Wands. So, I feel the first reason, they can't get you off their head is because you made them smile so much, you made them so happy. And if they're still in your life, you still do make them very happy. Even if there are certain challenges, sometimes in the way, you still make them very happy. You make them smile so much their cheeks hurt. Or you may be very funny where you make them laugh. You feel like you bring a lot of warmth and you brighten up their day a lot, is what I'm getting here. You bring a lot of excitement in their life with the Knight of Wands. Whenever they think of you, I just see them smiling or being very happy. I see them feeling grateful that they've met you, and even if you're still not together, I still see a gratitude that they had you in their journey. And if you're still together, there is this feeling of gratitude and being so happy with you. So that is the one thing that really sets you apart from others, because I feel like for this person, I feel like not many people have that effect on them, to make them smile so much, to make them laugh so much, to make them so excited, I feel like not many people have that effect on them. And what I'm really getting from this person, when I felt that heartache, I don't think that's for all of you in the literal sense. Maybe some of you have separated from this person because we have the World here. You'll intuitively know if that's true for you or not. Well, you will know. But, maybe they're heartbroken that they don't have you in their life anymore because you did make them so happy, and that's one of the reasons why they can't get you out of their mind. For others of you, there is a sense of being scared to lose you, being scared of heartbreak. With the High Priestess right opposite the Seven of Swords, if you're still with this person, there's like this kind of fear of, when sometimes you fear something and your mind tells you, what if it's true? Like, what if it's your intuition? I feel that energy here, like maybe I'm fearing being abandoned and my anxiety is telling me I'm going to be abandoned, for example. It doesn't have to be, but you get the message here. And then my mind is telling me, what if that's true? What if it's my intuition? It gives me that type of feeling. For others of you, it's different. I feel like when this person does think of you, you do intuitively feel it and you do feel them in your energy field in some way. For those where, you've moved on, there is this feeling of like them almost feeling this may not or may be true, but I'm just seeing it in their cards and their feelings. Don't take it as me calling you out or me saying anything about you. I just see this person's feelings being like, how could you move on with the Chariot and the Seven of Swords? Almost like feeling like you moved on and left them behind. But that may not be true in your feelings, because everyone has two sides to the story. Everyone sees things differently, and I guess this is just how this person is feeling if this is a separation. If not, there's this feeling of, I don't want you to just pick up and leave, because then I would feel devastated. Then I would feel like you just didn't care for me. And I don't think you would do that if you're still with this person. But there is this feeling here of a fear behind that. Like this Seven of Swords specifically, I know Seven of Swords is usually a sneakiness, but this Seven of Swords specifically is like almost like spirit telling me like the mind is attacking us. The mind is making us feel like something bad is going to happen. Kind of reminds me of that song. What is it called again? Dark Red by Steve Lacy. I think that those lyrics could be significant for some of you in your person, even if they don't express these feelings. This is what I see here. Like their mind doesn't want to let go of you. If you're still together, there's this feeling of like, I hope you don't leave. And my mind keeps telling me these fears. Like, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if you move on without me? For those of you that are separated, there's this feeling of like, how could you move on? How could you be so happy without me? Like that type of feeling. Anyways, I feel for most of you this is romantic. For others of you, you were just very close to this person with the Two of Cups. It felt like you did everything together. It felt like you two were always together. And it felt like your connection moved in a way where you two just clicked very fast. Where you two felt the sense of love for each other very fast, whether it's platonic or romantic or anything of that sort. It felt very much like this kind of spiritual connection with the High Priestess, where this person felt when they met you, they felt like they've known you their whole life, and they felt like they just click with you. They felt like things quickly move forward with you in a way that it hasn't with anyone else, and things just felt right with you. And I know that I felt that before, and that's what I'm feeling in the cards, like the sense of I just click with you in a way I haven't with anyone else. When I get to know other people, it takes me very long to open up to them, and it takes, like, from this person's mindset, it takes them very long to open up to them. It takes them some time to get comfortable with them. But with you, it felt like this instant attraction, or this instant kind of like faded meaning, or this instant blooming of feelings, whether it's platonic or romantic. And what I'm really getting here was this person either thought or thinks they're going to still walk a journey with you with the Hierophant and climb the stairs towards where they want to be with you. Even if there are challenges, I guess what I'm seeing here is they're willing to work through that with you, because you make them so happy that it's not like they're looking for the happiness in you, but you just have that effect on them naturally that they just feel this is right. They just feel they want to focus on you. Because fluorite is all about focus. And I'm feeling like when you're not in this person's life, or if you weren't to be in this person's life, take it as it resonates, this person would feel like they can't necessarily focus on the things that are a priority to them, like their work, school, their daily priorities or responsibilities. It would just feel like you're constantly on their mind. I think this person doesn't want to play games. That's what I'm getting here with the Seven of Wands and the Emperor. Because the Seven of Wands, to me, and the combination of this, since he's playing chess here, gives me the vibe like they don't want to play games with you. And if there was something like that in the past, I think they're ready to learn from it with the Hierophant. This energy is kind of confusing because I feel some of you, there's like a group here in pile 1 that are separated from this person, and there's a group that are still with this person where they have fears of that. So it's kind of like I'm trying to differentiate with the energies here. Just take it as it resonates and bear with me with the messages, pile 1, because there's so many of you watching. I feel like I'm seeing this person with their head in the clouds, them daydreaming about you a lot. And a lot in the sense where, their mind is focused on you a lot. And I think you already intuitively feel this and know this. You're very much linked to them in the energetic field when they think of you. I kind of get this feeling for some of you of a telepathic bond with this person. And it could look like, when they think of you, maybe you message them and then they're like, "Oh, I was just thinking of you." Or it could look like them thinking of you constantly and then you having them pop up in your mind. Or it could look like when you're together, maybe you two finish each other's sentences, or you think of the same thing at the same time and one of you says it. It comes through kind of like that telepathic type of bond, or this type of empathetic feeling we have towards each other when we know when something is going wrong with the other person. Like I said, this can be platonic or romantic, but for most of you, I feel this is someone you just were very close to, you shared a lot of love with, and they still do have a lot of love for you, even if this is a separation, even if there are challenges, they still do have a lot of love for you. And there's this feeling of our hearts beat the same, our hearts long for the same thing, and we give each other that. There's this feeling of like you bringing a lot of this rainbowy, passionate, sunshine energy into their life. Just a very happy feeling into their life. And to them, that feeling you give them, that effect you have on them is unforgettable in some way. And that's why they can't get you off their mind. And I feel like they just dream of you a lot with the moon, but they also daydream about you a lot. There's something where they're always thinking of you, they're always daydreaming about you. They may even also be talking about you a lot with the Justice card. You may be that one person they're always talking about in a good way, where they're talking about, like, how do I put this in words? So let's say you're in a separation with them, for those of you. They could be talking about you in a way where I wonder if pile number 1 is ever going to come back to me, like to their friends, or I wonder if pile number 1 still feels the same way for me, or I wonder if pile number 1 has moved on. It's like they're talking to their friends like that, or their family members, or I wonder if I reach out to pile number 1, would they message me back? If they're still in your life, it feels like Oh, I'm seeing pile number one this weekend. I'm so excited. Oh, pile number one this. They just messaged me and so happy. Like, it feels like they're talking about you all the time to their friends or their family. It feels like their mind is just very focused on you with the fluorite crystal you chose. And the kind of love you shared together and the happy memories you have together. Like, I just keep seeing this person daydream about you and dream about you a lot, where you're in their psyche, where it's almost like you're haunting their psyche in the best way, but not in a bad way, where it's kind of like, I feel like you're just always on this person's mind and they think very deeply of you with the moon. I'm hearing that they may even listen to music and think about you in that sense. They may even sit at work or at school, wherever they are in their daily responsibilities and think of you. Seeing them stand in a grocery store and think of you. Like different scenarios like that. And each time they think of you, they smile. And to them, that's how they know there's just something about you. There's something about this soul connection. Where even if it was to physically end, you would never be gone from their heart. I'm hearing the song Tattooed Heart by Ariana Grande, and I think that is self-explanatory. You know how a tattoo lasts forever. You're in this person's heart forever, whether you're physically there or not. And I feel like they could never really move on from you, and even if they tried, there would still be a part of you there. Like, even, yes, if life does move on and things do cause you to separate, which for most of you I don't want to happen. Well, I guess you would be the judge of that, but there's this feeling of you'd always have a piece of their heart. You'd always be in a piece of their heart and at home there, if that makes sense. Like, a part of you would always be there. I feel like energetically you're just very close to this person. And I don't know if you feel confused or if they feel confused, because while I do the reading, the energy is very clear, but then there's some confusion I'm feeling here while I tap into the energy, either on your part or this person's part. Confusion of where you two lie, or confusion of if this is right or not, or if this is going to work out or not, or confusion on if they are thinking about you or if they do want to reach out to you, if you are a priority to them in their life. And if you did separate and something did happen here where it caused you to separate, maybe like wondering why they did that for some of you, not all of you, and if they have learned from it. But I feel if you have separated with the World, the Knight of Swords, the Hierophant, I do feel like they are quickly learning from it. Because it's kind of like, one thing I've learned, when you leave a person behind because they do something, and this is not to manipulate them, this is not for any of that, but I'm just saying something where I've noticed a pattern in people. When you're no longer in their life, they reflect on their actions. They reflect on, oh, I really hurt this person, because if they don't want me in their life anymore after me doing this or betraying them in this way or hurting them in this way, even if it's small to them, they quickly learn from it, because it's like, whoa, that person, I can never get them back in my life if I don't learn from this, if I don't grow and change. Most people would be like that. Whereas some would pretend they'd grow and change. I don't think this person's like that, but you can be the judge of that based on you knowing this person. But what I feel, most people do have that conscious, most people do learn from that in some way, even if they don't fully grow and change. They do recognize most of the time their actions, unless they don't want to take responsibility. There's something about you that is very breathtaking to this person. And there's something about the love you share, the bond you share that feels so close, that feels so spiritual and deeply emotional in some way, that they just can't erase you from their mind. And with the Knight of Cups, there's this feeling of wanting to come towards you with a lot of love, wanting to show you a lot of love, whether this is platonic or romantic, and show you through their actions. Almost like fight for the connection with the Seven of Wands, show you that they really care. And there's all this fast energy coming in, like them wanting to rush towards you, Knight of Swords, Chariot, Knight of Wands. There's all this fast energy coming in, like them really wanting to rush towards you and communicate with you with the Justice card, speak their truth to you. Maybe even share what's going on for them in their mind or emotionally with Justice and the Moon. I'm hearing that song. I don't know who it's from. It's like, I want 100 of your time, your mind. Male's voice. I don't know. Let me just Google it. It's Tyler, the Creator, new magic wand. It's almost like you're waving a magic wand and you have this person under this psyche type of spell where they can't stop thinking about you. Like, I'm seeing them, even though it's not like really like that, but it feels like that to them. I'm seeing them like everything reminds them of you. Like they could be walking through a place and maybe they see something like, okay, let's say they see a restaurant you always go to together, for example. Then they instantly think of you. Or let's say something happens to them and they instantly want to tell you, because every time something good happens or every time something bad happens, it's like, I want to tell pile number ones. Or let's say you always went to a specific coffee shop or boba. I don't know why I'm saying boba. That might not resonate with everyone. And every time they see that, they think of you. Or, you could have had special memories in specific places together. They go with you. And every time they see that place, even if it's in their home, they think of you. Or sometimes I'm even feeling like your scent could just be there and then they instantly think of you, or they go through pictures in their phones and then they see you. It gives me that vibe of like everything reminds them of you. And I'm seeing a mirror clairvoyantly, so there's this feeling of you two mirroring a lot within each other, and there's this feeling of they see themselves in you. They almost see you two as like so alike and so similar that even being themselves reminds them of you, if that makes sense. I'm also seeing this energy here where they find you very cool and they're watching you a lot. Like they're keeping their eye on you a lot. If this is a separation. But if not, there's this feeling of liking to look at you or liking to view pictures on the phone together, or when you're in person, liking to have you around in your presence and stare at you. There's this feeling of like, I saw skating or skiing. That may not resonate with everyone, but that's something I see. And I saw something about if this is romantic, like you being very tempting to them. And you, for the others of you, like friendship and romantic, and seeing you sort of cool this person down. Whenever they're feeling strong emotions or intense emotions, you know how to calm this person down. Whether it's anxiety, whether it's intense anger towards someone else in their life, you know how to calm them down. Or whether it's intense feelings of anguish, I don't know why I'm hearing that word, or intense feelings of sadness, you just know how to comfort them. You feel like a comfort to them. You feel so close to their heart. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards. I feel like pulling one card from the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. So spirit guides of my pile number ones, why can't they get my pile number ones off their mind? So we have Desert Jasper, Vesta, and Resolve. There's something they want to resolve with you. Whether it is their own fears or whether it is something that actually happened between the two of you. For a lot of you, I feel there is a soul connection here, but I can't, like, spirit is not telling me to put labels on it, whether it's karmic or soulmate or twin flame. Like, spirit is telling me not to put labels on it, but rather to say this is a soul connection, but there are lessons you learn from each other, and the challenges you learn together help you grow and help you really understand how to give each other love in the best possible way, how to nurture each other and not turn the connection into a desert where there's no water, where there's no love. Like, does that make sense? Because when I think of water, I think of emotions and love and that nurturing energy. Desert, like, maybe also makes me think they are thirsting for you, because I'm thinking of walking through a desert and like longing for water. That's the feeling coming up, like almost like you're the water and they're longing for you, they're thirsting for you. Take it as it resonates. Which is really interesting. We have citrine sun clarity. I said something about you being like sunshine to them. And that's how they feel. Like it reminds me of that song Mr. Sun by Green Tea Peng, where she's like, Mr. Sun, I need you. I'm only happy with you. It reminds me so much of that song. So, this stone, Desert Jasper, I'm reading about it, and it nurtures and supports during stressful periods of time and helps guide that energy into a positive form of communication. So maybe that's the effect you have on them. Like I said before, you support them during stressful times and you always feel very soothing to them in some way. But also this feeling of them wanting to communicate with you is coming through very strongly, speak their truth and open up about their feelings, let that out in some way. But I'm also reading here, it brings a calming energy that helps one focus on their creative work. It calms, stabilizes, and inspires. It's almost like this person sees you as a little bit of a muse to them, as an inspiration to them, and they're also seeing you grow in your own way with the Hierophant. They're seeing you ascend in your own way, and something about that inspires them, how you're kind of leveling up in your own way, or shifting your energy, or transforming in a way in your own way. And I see like this person almost seeing you as a little bit of their muse if they are creative for some of you, but also calming and stabilizing their energy. You just have that effect on them. That's something about you is just very unforgettable to this person. So now I'm going to get a message from your person on why they can't get you out of their head. I'm hearing I can't let you go. And I'm feeling heartbreak for those that are in separation. For others of you, it just feels like I can't let you go. If I lost you, I would truly like be devastated. Like even the feeling of I don't want to let you go. I never want that to happen. So spirit guides of my pile, I feel that feeling again that I felt in the beginning of like smiling so much your cheeks hurt. So that feeling keeps coming up within your reading. Spirit guides of pile 1, why can't they get my pile 1s off their mind? Can we have a message from their person, from their higher self, please? We have, I'm sorry with defenselessness, running past wrongs, uprooting. There's something about them wanting to have courage to resolve the challenges you have together. We have inner earth, you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. They want to apologize to you for anything that hurt you. They want to make things right with you. I'm hearing that song, Right My Wrongs by Bryson Tiller, I think. There's something about you that just is so nostalgic in some way. You remind them a lot of childhood and happy memories in childhood. Like you just bring their inner child out a lot. And at the back of the deck, we have surrender to the sweetness with Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. They feel like you bring a lot of sweetness into their life. And like I said, there's just something about you that's unforgettable where they want to have the courage to right past wrongs, to, speak their truth to you and resolve any challenges that you are experiencing together. So they really feel the sweetness with you brings so much joy into their life that it's just unforgettable. That's what I keep hearing. You're unforgettable. So this is why they can't get you off their mind. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this purple agate crystal and the Ethereal Visions Tarot, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at the person on your mind and why they can't get you off their mind. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take or resonate to leave the rest. But before we get into your reading, I'd just like to thank and give a quick word to today's sponsorship, Keen. Many of you have asked me recently for personal readings, but unfortunately I'm not available for any right now. So I have brought you the next best thing, Keen. Keen connects you with gifted psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers like myself who are available 24 hours a day. So you can always get a reading whenever it suits you. All you have to do is create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. These readers each have unique specialties designed to provide a deeper understanding of your situation. You can choose whichever reader best suits your needs, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. Getting confirmation or a second opinion from someone who can give you a straightforward answer is always best. And as a tarot reader, I can tell you that it is very hard reading tarot for myself sometimes, as sometimes it doesn't make sense or is unclear. So even I resort to Keen. So let me tell you a little bit about some of my recent experience on Keen. I asked about my love life with my person. She explained to me how devoted he is and that our connection is only getting stronger and better, helping us to build a strong foundation that will only deepen moving into the holidays. She also mentioned us making future plans together no later than February, lol. But we've already started, so I'm very excited to see what unfolds then. She also mentioned that he's very loyal towards the ones he loves and that he doesn't even know what he did to get so lucky to be with me. She mentioned that I changed his world and that he feels like a little kid around me, which is so cute. Lastly, she said that she can see me getting married with him in the future and us having a home together where everyone will always gather together. The love reading I got was very beautiful and sweet, and every detail mentioned was so accurate and on point. Though you can get any type of reading from these readers depending on what you are looking for. I'm so grateful for the reading I got from Keen through their amazing and gifted psychic tarot readers. That's why it's still best to get a personal psychic reading because it is directed only to your energies. Now here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which is up to $99 in savings. Go to trykeen.com/psychic siren tarot or click the link in my description to save big on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this beautiful opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychic siren tarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your reading. So I guess this card wants to come out first. We have the Artist. Spirit guides on my pile number twos. Spirit guides of my pile number twos. For the person on their mind, why can't they get my pile number twos off their mind? So we have the Lovers. We have the Star. some reason I'm hearing Fleetwood Mac songs. We have the Emperor. We have the King of Swords. We have the Devil in reverse. We have the High Priestess. We have the Eight of Pentacles. The Temperance card. The Nine of Wands. We have the Five of Wands. And we have the Queen of Cups. I feel one extra card here, the Six of Cups. Interesting. So Seven of Swords wants to pop out, and we have Eight of Cups at the back of the deck. So let's get into your cards. Let me organize these first. So my pile number 2s, why they can't get you off their mind. For a lot of you, I feel this is talking about someone from your past, someone you have separated, or you walked away or they walked away. And I feel something in my throat chakra here. The sense of like fear, but wanting to talk to you, wanting to communicate with you, but fearing it. I think this person is a little bit hesitant to admit or to take responsibility for where they went wrong, but they do. A part of them wants to, but a part of them doesn't want to. And I'll get deeper into that in a moment. I'm hearing the song, Mr. Lonely, like the one that goes, I'm so lonely, I have nobody. That song. So this person feels very lonely without you. And for most of you, I do feel this is a separation. If you don't resonate with that, then this may not be your pile. Yeah, I feel that very strongly for a lot of you. Like, whoever this is, you and them had a lot of karmic energies together. In pile 1, it was very different, but similar at the same time. But I think this pile, there are more karmic energies in this pile. There's this feeling of like this person and you not getting along or not getting... Don't get me wrong, there were good times in this connection. There were really good times in this connection, but there were also times where you two had a lot of conflict, or where this person was not treating you right in some way. And that's what I want to say right off the bat. And I'm sure maybe that's what ended this connection. So they feel lonely without you. And there's something very nostalgic about you and the memories you share. I see them going over the memories you have together, thinking, could I have done things differently? Should I have said something to my pile number 2s already and apologized and tried to work on this connection already? Or should I just leave things as they are and let pile number 2 move on? It kind of reminds me of a song. Why, Steve Lacy came through in pile 1, why is he coming through in all the piles in pile 2 as well? Maybe some of you could resonate with pile 1 because the Emperor came out in pile 1 and the Nine of Wands. So let me just try see what the song is. So the song's called Helmet by Steve Lacy. And he talks about like, please let me move on. So I feel like maybe that's from your perspective. Maybe you want to move on from this person, or maybe they think you want to move on. Maybe they think that you don't want them back in your life. There's this feeling of them missing you and feeling so alone without you. I was clairvoyantly seeing an image of someone go into their old childhood home. And it doesn't have to resonate like this. This is just a metaphor for the energy. And they pick up this kind of like box that has like a ballerina thing in it. And the ballerina moves around and around and around. And then all the childhood memories come flooding back to them. So it doesn't have to resonate in that sense. It doesn't have to be literal, but I see this as a metaphor where this person may have certain objects connected to you or have certain pictures connected to you on their phone, like of memories connected to you, or something along those lines where they're going back to the memories you have together, going back to the past you have together, and reminiscing over those memories. So if they have like an item of yours, like a jacket, a jersey, or a ring, or something physical of yours, they could be still holding on to that and reminiscing about you, or it could be them going back to pictures of you, the pictures you shared together, or certain memories in their mind that feel very nostalgic to them. And I see them watching over that again and again and again. I'm seeing Lord Farquhar when he sees Fiona on the magic mirror and he plays her clip again and again and again and again. So I feel like this person is looping over memories of you again and again. And I see them also watching you on social media or trying to watch you in some way. For most of you, I feel it's over the phone since I saw Lord Farquhar. And I heard the song now. I always feel like somebody's watching me. So I feel like you intuitively know this person is thinking about you a lot. With the high priestess here, you do intuitively know this and you do feel when they're thinking of you because, like I said, this is a soul connection, but it feels more karmic. So you two have that kind of spiritual bond with the star and temperance where when they think of you, you do feel it, you do, or you dream it, or something tells you, or something just brings you back to a memory of them. Maybe you start thinking of them, or maybe you see something of them, like a sign of them, like let's say you're watching TV and their name just pops up. Like that's the energy I feel here. You do feel when they're thinking of you, or you do intuitively get that sense with the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups. I was also seeing a vision of the Grinch. Okay, I don't know why I'm seeing so many movies. I don't know if you or this person like movies, or if sometimes like when I get messages, I will get it in a way the person can easily understand it best. So if you're someone that likes movies or is a movie fanatic, or if this person is, it could be coming through in this way, or maybe it's just giving you a visual show of what's happening in this person's energy if you're more of a visual person, more of a visual learner, if that makes sense. So I'm seeing the Grinch when he's a kid in a movie and he's holding up the book to his face and he had tried to shave his face, I think, and there were like little cuts all over his face. And then the teachers like put down the book because people in his school were bullying him for the way that he looked because he looked different to everyone. And if you go and watch the movie The Grinch, it hurts my heart. I feel like the Grinch was the victim all along. And then he just became in his villain era. But I don't know, maybe this person is sort of having traits like the Grinch. I don't know. You will be the judge of that. But yeah, in that scene, he kind of takes the book down and everyone starts laughing at him. But there's this one particular girl in his school that he has a crush on that is always kind to him when everybody else is bullying him. And I feel like that's you in a way, like maybe this person has felt a lot of their life like they don't quite fit in places, or like people are kind of rude to them or just treating them negatively in a way, like maybe in their upbringing or maybe just in general, like maybe they haven't experienced a lot of kindness from others. I'm not really sure if she was kind to him, but I'm seeing it like that in my vision. Because I haven't watched The Grinch in a long time, so you feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But in my vision, I'm seeing it like she's kind to him when everyone else is mean to him. And this may be how this person sees you. Like, you're that one person that's kind to them, that's compassionate to them, that is so sweet to them, when other people are just rude to them or treat them badly. I'm smelling birthday candles, so again, there's this very nostalgic feeling. Um, they could be thinking of reaching out on your birthday or thinking about birthday memories you've shared together or something like that's coming through. If their birthday's coming up, that's just a specific message for someone. It's not going to resonate for everyone. Or they could be planning to reach out on your birthday, even if it's next year. Um, I'm also seeing this person, like, whenever they're not with you, time without you feels very long. I'm clairvoyantly seeing Britney Spears now. I see so many visions of things in your pile. Maybe you're clairvoyant, some of you. Or you like visual stimulants. I don't know. In Britney Spears' music video, is it Oops, I Did It Again? I'm not sure. But she's staring at the clock and she's waiting for school to end. So, in some way, it's kind of like this person is waiting for this separation between the two of you to end. And time without you feels so slow. It feels like it's dragging on. It reminds me of that song, Time Goes By So Slowly. I think it's Kylie Minogue, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I just feel like this person, without you, it just feels like time drags on. It just feels like life is dragging on in a way that feels so boring. I feel like when I look at the Five of Wands, I'm seeing an image of reality TV and how they have those fights. um, so there's this feeling of like you may have had a lot of drama with this person or a lot of unnecessary conflict sometimes. It was like, for some of you, I'm seeing like this person pushed your buttons intentionally, or you two just sometimes clashed with each other. Either you were very similar or different, or you just had certain personality traits that clashed and rubbed each other the wrong way. Like I said, this connection feels karmic in some way, and it feels like it's teaching us from the conflict, okay, from the drama. Or this person is just someone that is always in drama, always in conflict. And maybe you're not like that, but maybe they brought that side out of you. I feel like in some way you two brought each other's shadow side out. And the shadow side is not bad. It's not dark as we may perceive it as humans. It's the part of ourselves that has been wounded, that turns to anger, that turns to those more quote unquote darker emotions. But it's not dark. It's an emotion that we must process, feel, and integrate to come closer to this healing with the temperance, to an alchemization of that. And I feel like the reason why this person can't get you out of their mind is because I feel in some way they are healing from something in your connection. And I feel in some way their spirit guides want them to heal with the star and temperance, alchemize something within their own shadow. Why are they going through this phase of alchemization, spirit? Okay, so I'm seeing in some way they are in their FU era, in their villain era. I'm seeing a middle finger put up. So in some way they are in a phase of their life where they're releasing a lot of anger and resentment and a lot of the shadow traits they hold within that they don't realize are there. And it's like the universe is putting up a mirror to them and they're seeing that darker side of them, quote unquote darker, in order to work on it, in order to heal from it and alchemize it so that they can alchemize these challenges in connections to others. Because I feel here what's happening is, in order for this person to create and build healthy connections, they need to learn from the karmic connection you had or from karmic connections they've had with others as well. It may not just be you, it may be like if they were that type of person that was always in drama, always in conflict, they could be learning from those karmic connections they've had in their life, from the hurt and pain they've had in their life, from their own mistakes and wrongdoings in some way where maybe they didn't realize they were doing something wrong in that moment, but now that they are growing, they can learn from it and be able to be kind and compassionate to that past version of themselves and forgive themselves. So I see it's almost like they're stuck in a time loop of the past. I'm seeing Back to the Future when they go back to the past to fix something in the past as a metaphor for this person going back to a past version of them to heal something within, to heal a certain inner child or inner teen. I feel more inner teen wounds. Like, I feel that vibe of like the inner teenager and how they can be angry sometimes, angry at the world, angry at their parents, angry at this that happened to them. I feel this person is resolving a lot of anger within them and a lot of frustration and resentment within them. A lot of those shadow traits they hold within and sort of like going to the past, quote unquote, fixing. I don't see it as fixing, I see it more as healing those past versions of themselves and working through those memories so that they can move on, heal from the connection and not hold on so tightly to you and move on to create healthier, more loving connections in their life. For a lot of you, I feel this is an ex-lover. For others of you, I just feel this was someone you loved very dearly and you held very close to your heart. But what I will say is, I feel a lot of you don't want this person back in your life, but some of you do. And what I would say as advice here is to allow things to flow as they are supposed to. Allow things to flow into place because the universe is always going to give you what you need, maybe not necessarily what you want. I think I've heard that somewhere on Instagram, but it's coming to mind. And I think this person still has a lot of things to work on within themselves before they can create those healthy connections with others. And Spirit is showing me like an image of someone journaling about you, like to get those feelings out. So maybe this person is journaling, or maybe Spirit is calling them to do healing methods like that, in order to get them to see their own feelings, understand it, hold compassion to it, be kind to that past version of themselves, but also learn from it and be accountable, hold themselves accountable, because it does take to create this tension and conflict. Learn from their regrets, because I feel them regretting and feeling guilty for certain things they've done, but also maybe not wanting to take accountability with the devil in reverse, because there's this feeling of, if I take accountability or admit I was wrong here, then what if I am a bad person, or what if I was in the wrong the whole time? It's like that type of feeling here where some part of their ego is getting in the way from admitting their wrongdoings. Some part of their logical mind is coming in the way and saying, oh, but you were right to do this because this was what happened, like almost like justifying their wrongdoings, if that makes sense. Um, and one thing, well, I don't know if this is true, but one thing someone close to me always says is manipulation is witchcraft. And when we manipulate others, we're essentially like performing a spell on them, even if it's not a real spell, but it's like we're trying to get them to see something that's not real, an illusion. Just like magicians, they create illusions. But when we lie to ourselves and we justify something we know we did wrong, we're essentially putting a spell on ourselves, an illusion over ourselves. But if we were just to work on that and admit where we were wrong and get our ego out of the way and our pride out of the way and admit that we're human and we're not perfect, but we're here to learn and grow, then we can move fast past that. I said fast by mistake. Maybe they can move faster past that and heal from it and grow from it and work through that negative trait or pattern of them. And I feel the reason they can't get you out of their head is because they are currently working through and healing through that past version of them in order to move forward and in order to create healthier foundations for their future connections, whether that includes you or not. And I feel because you're showing up as a star here, I think this person is still hoping for something with you in the future, hoping to create something with you in the future with the artist and the lovers, more love. But at the same time, because you're showing up as a star, you are divinely protected and divinely guided. And whatever flows into your life is meant to flow into your life. So if this person doesn't ever come into your life, it's because you're protected. And spirit will only bring into your life what is good for you, what is healthy for you moving forward. Because I feel you've already learned from this lesson, or you are already starting to learn from this lesson, and spirit feels they want to bring something healthier into your life. Okay? And I think that's going to depend on this person, whether they take the initiative to heal from this and to work on themselves. Because I feel they have a lot of inner work to do on themselves before they can potentially come back into your life, if that's what you want. I think in some way, you know how when a person passes on and they do a past life review, I've actually seen a vision of me, like my higher self, doing that for people because our higher selves have jobs in some way. But anyways, moving back to the point, in some way I see them letting go of a past version of themselves, like an old version of them dying, and it's almost like they have to review that life they've lived and see their own wrongdoings and see where they went right and work through that and learn from it. Like, it's not that they are physically over, it just means a part of themselves from the past is dying and a new version of them is being reborn and created. So even my throat chakra feels very like weird. Like, I feel this person does want to communicate with you, but I feel they don't know what to say. And all these reasons are why, like, all these reasons I'm mentioning, everything I'm mentioning is part of the reading of why they can't get you out of their head. One, because they're reviewing these past memories to heal. Two, because you were always kind and compassionate and loving towards them. I feel you have a lot of Venusian energy, like this person sees within you. So if this was romantic, you also have a lot of beauty, but also a beautiful soul. And in general, you do have a beautiful soul. And in some way, this person can't let go of that. And there is still hope here of them coming back into your lives, but they have to work on themselves first. I think some part of them does know that because Yeah, like an apology without change is manipulation, and in some way, a part of them knows that. I feel them feeling guilt and remorse too for like the wrong things that went wrong in your connection. And I feel in some way time without you feels long, and it feels like they wish they could always be with you, and they in some way they wish they could go back to time, back to the past in some way, and change what happened, fix what happened in the past and change it, if that makes sense. So let's now take a look at some oracle cards, and then we're going to end off after that. Let's get one card from the Astral Realms oracle. So there's something about you, since you chose the Ethereal Visions Tarot, that is out of this world, that is so ethereal. You have such a beautiful soul, such a nurturing personality. That's something they can't forget about you. So spirit guides on my pile, number 2s. I'm hearing that song Can't Remember to Forget You by Shakira. Why they can't get my pile number 2s out of their head. A message from their higher self, please. So we have Spirit, Quartz, Chiron, and Healing, card 33. So I feel like in some way your higher self is supporting their healing journey. I feel like in some way they're going through some sort of transformation, and there's Pluto energy at the back of the deck. Pluto is all about transformation and huge shift and changes within us. Because I feel in some way this person is ready to adapt to the changes and to move forward to where they're supposed to go. But in order to move forward and create that new reality full of love, a healthy love, we need to heal the parts of our soul with Pluto. Like Pluto is very intense. It's that intense planet of transformation. I think Pluto has Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken, like as a planet in it. So there's this feeling of this person removing that guard that once kept them from loving. Because in some way, I'm seeing with Black Tourmaline at the back of the deck, they had a guard up that prevented them from loving. A guard of anger, a guard of resentment, a guard of who would ever love me, who would ever like, and it comes from inner child or inner teenager wounds. And in order to create those healthy loves, that guard needs to come down in safety and transform into a beautiful healing of the shadow self and a beautiful blooming and compassion and forgiveness towards that shadow side. Something significant happened to this person on 11/11. While I'm pre-recording this, but the 11th of November, something significant happened to them on this day, like certain realizations or something like that. And I feel in some way your spirit guides sometimes help this person or support this person through healing their wounds, because Chiron is our wounds. It's the wounded healer. And in some way, sometimes your higher self also guides them through healing in dreams. I'm seeing sometimes they will dream about certain conflicts or challenges they had with you in order to release those emotions surrounding that, which is quite interesting, because I feel in some way it's like a chaotic blooming, or them shedding their old skin, and I'm feeling something within their solar plexus chakra. So I feel like in some way it's releasing the belief that they're unworthy of love. So can we please have a message from their higher self on why they can't get my pile 2s out of their mind? We have activated earth, power places, Lee lines, trust where you're led. In some way, this person is drawn to your energy because your energy feels very healing and full of light, and that's something that they crave in some way. We have whale and orca elders with share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So they want to communicate with you. Karmic connections wants to pop out, but also soul family. So this person is part of your soul family, but it's karmic. And we have protection, loyalty, safety, and trust at the back of the deck. I feel like they want to rebuild trust with you again. And I feel like sneezing. So there's first like a release. There's first a feeling of I need to right those past wrongs and really like communicate with pile 2 to heal whatever happened in the past behind. And in some way they're protective over your connection that you had in the past, where it's like I need to communicate to pile 2 before someone else comes towards them and I miss my opportunity, I miss my chance. But in some way they're drawn to your energy. Something about thinking about you feels good because your energy feels good. But I would say if you sometimes feel this person thinking about you a lot and it feels like they're kind of pulling on your energy unintentionally, then I'd say protect your energy. But there's something about your energy that feels like it's full of light. And like a moth to the light is what I'm seeing almost. Like they're attracted to your light. But also I think they do want to communicate to you and like almost resolve whatever happened in the past between the two of you. And there's still this feeling of them being loyal to you in some way. I don't know what that's about, like maybe waiting for you. So I feel like they feel like they have a lot to tell you as well, like about where they are at right now. But there's also this feeling of like, I don't know what to do. If I reach out, will they even want to talk to me? And there my voice goes again. So there's this feeling of wanting to reach out, but being a little bit fearful too. So this was your reading, my pile 2s. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this Malachite crystal and the Muse tarot, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at the person on your mind and why they can't get you off their mind. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. But before we get started with your reading, I'd just like to thank and give a quick word to today's sponsorship, Keen. Many of you have asked me recently for personal readings, but unfortunately I'm not available for any right now. So I have brought you the next best thing, Keen. Keen connects you with gifted psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers like myself who are available 24 hours a day. So you can always get a reading whenever it suits you. All you have to do is create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. These readers each have unique specialties designed to provide a deeper understanding of your situation. You can choose whichever reader best suits your needs, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. Getting confirmation or a second opinion from someone who can give you a straightforward answer is always best. And as a tarot reader, I can tell you that it is very hard reading tarot for myself sometimes, as sometimes it doesn't make sense or is unclear. So even I resort to Keen. So let me tell you a little bit about some of my recent experience on Keen. I asked about my love life with my person. She explained to me how devoted he is and that our connection is only getting stronger and better, helping us to build a strong foundation that will only deepen moving into the holidays. She also mentioned us making future plans together no later than February, lol. But we've already started, so I'm very excited to see what unfolds then. She also mentioned that he's very loyal towards the ones he loves and that he doesn't even know what he did to get so lucky to be with me. She mentioned that I changed his world and that he feels like a little kid around me, which is so cute. Lastly, she said that she can see me getting married with him in the future and us having a home together where everyone will always gather together. The love reading I got was very beautiful and sweet, and every detail mentioned was so accurate and on point. Though you can get any type of reading from these readers, depending on what you are looking for. I'm so grateful for the reading I got from Keen through their amazing and gifted psychic tarot readers. That's why it's still best to get a personal psychic reading, because it is directed only to your energies. Now here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which is up to $99 in savings. Go to trykeen.com/psychic siren tarot or click the link in my description to save big on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this beautiful opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychic siren tarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your reading pile number 3. So let's get started and pull your tarot cards. So spirit guides of my pile number 3s. Why the person on their mind can't get my pile number 3s off their mind. Why they can't get them out of their head. So we have the Queen of Pentacles showing up first. We have the Knight of Emotions, which is the Knight of Cups, Knight of Emotions, Queen of Materials, Queen of Pentacles. We have the Page of Materials, Page of Pentacles. We have the Five of Inspiration, which is the Five of Wands. Interesting. We have the Ten of Inspiration, which is the Ten of Wands. We have the Ace of Inspiration, which is the Ace of Wands. We have the Death card, which is so interesting. Why they can't get my pile number 3s off their mind. So we have the Eight of Emotions, the Eight of Cups. We have the Nine of Materials, Nine of Pentacles. Ten of Emotions, Ten of Cups. The Devil. We have the Moon. We have the Four of Inspiration, which is the Four of Wands. And lastly, we have the Temperance card. Okay, so this is very, very interesting. The Sun card also wants to pop out, and at the back of the deck, we have the Muse of Emotions. So it's 11:44 on the clock as we start. So why can't the person on your mind get you off their mind? One thing I've noticed as a theme within all 3 piles is this feeling of separations and people from your past. So what I'm really getting here, I heard the song Stranger by Jhené Aiko. And she talks about meeting certain people that are strangers that are similar to the people in their past, that are similar to the way of hurting her in the way people in her past have hurt her. And she says in the song, you know, you're a stranger, I haven't met you before, but why are you so similar, you know? So you could have felt like when you met this person, there felt like a familiarity in this person. There felt like a similarity to people you've met before, or it felt like this sense of deja vu when you met them. Like, I've already met you before, but I don't know you. And then I also heard the song La Tortura by Shakira. I don't know how to pronounce it, but if we go and translate the lyrics, she basically talks about it was torture, how you left without saying where, and it hurt so much. And then she kind of talks about in the song how the person left, it was torture losing the person. She hasn't been a saint, but she can fix it. And he talks about her. She says something like, oh my dear, keep your poetry to yourself, save your joy for yourself. I don't ask that every day be sunny. I don't ask that every day is a party. that every Friday is a party, nor do I ask you to come back begging for forgiveness. If you cry with dry eyes and talking about her, and she just talks about it being torture. And she also talks about, like, she knows that her heart is yours, and that after everything she's done for him, it was torture to lose the person. So I'm kind of getting the vibe here, like maybe it was torture to lose this person. Maybe they did leave all of a sudden, and maybe in some way, shape, or form, they did mirror a lot of the things that people have done to you when they knew you had that pain or hurt. It feels like I'm telling you about my pain and hurt, like this has been done to me. And if this doesn't resonate, then this is probably not your pile. There are some similarities to pile 1 if you were drawn, but as well as pile 2. But what I feel here was this was a person where, like, you told them, okay, this is how I've been hurt. Please don't hurt me in the same way. And then they went and did exactly that. And it felt like this sense of familiarity when you met them. Like, I've met you before, but I haven't actually met you physically. The sense of familiarity you felt kind of reminds me of that thing in psychology. I'm not a psychologist, but I just have a lot of interest in psychology. So I think you'd have to do your own research on this, but there's something in psychology that says, like, something along the lines of we look for familiarity in people subconsciously that mirror to us, you know, parts of our pain in order to try and change that. Our subconscious mind sometimes looks for that familiarity in people, and it's not something we consciously do or know, but it's like, let's say you have an inner child pain, or you have a pain at some part in your life where it wounded you. We sometimes seek a person that's familiar to that person that caused that pain, and we try to almost subconsciously change that and get that person to love us in a different way, to heal that inner child wound, or to heal that wound within us that is still there. So I'm feeling an energy like that, and I'm seeing the Tower card clairvoyantly. Something fell apart here, but I also feel something happened that was divine intervention, where this person was taken out of your life because they didn't appreciate you as the blessing you are. And I feel the situation here is calling for you to compare this person to certain people from your past that have hurt you in a negative way and have influenced you in a negative way, and look at maybe where you were giving away your power. That's the energy I feel here. And where you were maybe subconsciously seeking that familiarity, or where that familiarity felt safe, where subconsciously you didn't realize maybe you were with a person that was similar to those that have hurt you. So I feel like in some way, shape, or form, this person mirrored a lot of your pain and your wounds back to you. And I feel in the throat chakra energies. So this person could have taught you in some way to speak up for yourself. And the reason I say it's interesting that the Death card came out with the Death Moth on it was because I saw the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland clairvoyantly. The scene where he's telling her something. I just want to go and look what he tells her because I don't remember the scene. And because I saw the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland, and I keep seeing like butterflies in your pile, but here we see moss. Those are symbols of transformation because the caterpillar turns into the butterfly. And I'm being called after I read these cards to pull 2 cards from the Chrysalis Tarot, which is like a butterfly tarot. I actually felt called to using it in the piles today, but like, I don't know, like I didn't use it. I didn't end up using it, so it's quite interesting because I felt like maybe using 4 piles, but then it kind of, yeah, anyways, I don't know why I didn't. But maybe I was gonna use the Chrysalis Tarot for your pile instead. Okay, so I'm reading here on Google. It says the caterpillar is mentioned in the book of Alice in Wonderland, and in the book he doesn't have a name. He is just referred to as a caterpillar, but in Tim Burton's 2010 movie, he has been named Absalom. He basically teaches Alice in Wonderland how to cope with the difficulties she encounters in Wonderland. He teaches her how to change size by eating the mushroom and thereby to adapt to her environment when needed, to allow her to change her size. In the Disney's cartoon movie, however, he changes into a butterfly. And he says to her, "Who are you?" So what I'm getting from this, maybe in some way, like this person did teach you to find yourself through the difficulties and did almost like be a catalyst to your transformation for you to transform into the butterfly. And I think you also transformed this person in a way where like maybe this person showed you a little bit of this transformation where you started finding yourself and finding who you really are. For some reason, I'm seeing Ken when he tries to find himself in the end of Barbie's movie. Okay, so I think this person triggered a self-discovery kind of journey within you. So the reason why they can't get you off their mind, I think because they mirrored a lot of things back to you, you also mirrored some things back to them. 5 of Wands, the Devil, I feel like you mirrored things back to them within themselves where they didn't realize maybe they were holding on to negative traits or treating you negatively in some way impacted them still. Although it impacted you more and hurt you, I feel like it's impacting them because now that you're out of their life, the memory of you is like holding up a mirror to maybe like what they've done to you and how they've hurt you and how they've been sort of like the villain in your story. And there's this feeling here of them, light being illuminated on them, and them kind of like, I see them kind of comparing themselves to what they could have done right. And I feel a lot of hesitancy in this pile as I speak about them. Almost like as if they're hesitant to admit where they went wrong. Or they're hesitant to admit what they're feeling about you. Because I think in some way like they do think about you and then try not to think about you, but then it makes them think about you more. And I hear the word ruminating. So they're ruminating about the hurt and pain they've caused you and where they were wrong, where they did something wrong. And I think they're comparing themselves to sort of like themselves, if that makes sense, to like this feeling of if I never did this, the relationship would have been 10 of Cups. The connection would have been in this 10 of Cups energy where we could have still been happy together. And I feel this energy of them accepting and feeling or coming to an acceptance of, I took pile number 3 for granted because they were the biggest blessing in my life with the 9 of Pentacles, but I didn't see it until after I lost them. And now, like my throat chakra feels very weird when I speak to your pile, so I think in some way like they can't. Why do I keep repeating in some way? I don't know. Maybe in some way like this person is repeating some things to themselves, like in a mental loop. Because I feel like a broken record. And it's not on purpose, but maybe this person is kind of like being a broken record in some way, like of their own memories of you and like what they're telling themselves, thought loops, if that makes sense. And I'm seeing this person, yeah, they never appreciated what they had until they lost you, and now they're realizing that they've lost you and that this is over for good with the death card. And I don't think you'd want this person back in your life. I don't think that at all, because I see you going through the transformation and realizing that, whoa, this person actually caused me a lot of pain. This connection was really toxic, like really, really toxic. I mean, we have the Five of Wands, the devil. And I feel like you were trying to give to them and trying to give to them, because I'm seeing you maybe like in your subconscious mind kind of feel like, okay, if I give more to this person, maybe they'll appreciate me more. And it brings me back to some kind of saying, like, the more you give to someone, if they don't appreciate what you're giving, they're not going to appreciate the more you give. That's what I feel with the Ten of Wands here opposite the moon, because maybe you felt so emotionally connected to this person in some way, and it felt like a really deep and intense connection. Even though it was toxic in some way, it felt very deep and emotional, and I think it was a spiritual connection, but it was supposed to mirror back to you something within you to transform. And I think it was more so karmic than soulmate. And I see you continuing to give and give and give to this person, but them not necessarily appreciating it or pouring back into you in the same way. They may have, I'm feeling for some of you, they may have love bombed you in the beginning or given you a lot of love in the beginning, then withdrawn. And maybe you trying to give to them was like this feeling of trying to get that love you once got in the beginning. Because I feel in the beginning they were maybe having this facade and trying to almost like study you in a way to give you what you wanted so that you would want them. But then I feel like they couldn't hold that facade anymore as time went by. So I feel like you fell in love with a facade of who they thought you wanted them to be, rather than who they actually were, if that makes sense. And this person, I think they are missing your nurturing energy. They're missing your down-to-earth nature. They're missing the fun times you had together with the Ace of Wands. I feel like you brought a lot of passion and color into their lives, and excitement into their lives, and happiness into their lives. And I feel like you also showed them a lot of emotional nurturing. You shared a lot of emotions with them, and you shared a lot of your heart with them. And I feel like you did have a really deep and intense connection, but it was also toxic to the both of you. I think this person sort of like misses your demeanor towards them, and how you kind of like wore your heart on your sleeve towards them, how you always wanted to give them love. I think they miss that side of you and that deep emotional and intense connection where they really miss the nurturing you gave them. They really miss how much you gave them and how much you did for them and how much you just loved them, and how you were even patient and forgiving to them in maybe times where others wouldn't be. Like, I'm seeing you sort of be forgiving to them when maybe like others would just leave them for them being that way. Does that make sense? Because I feel like you wanted this to work, and I feel like you had pure intentions, and I feel like there's something here where Spirit wants to say, don't blame yourself for giving to them, or for forgiving them when maybe like others would say, like, you shouldn't have been that lenient, but I see this message to not blame yourself for that, because it taught you something. And with the lotus flower here on the temperance card, it triggered and mirrored a pain within you for you to alchemize that and for you to bloom like the lotus, but bloom through that pain. And come back to this essence of knowing that you had pure intentions towards them, and that was not your fault that they hurt you. It was not your fault that they turned out this way, because you couldn't have predicted this. You were the one that was just trying to give love. You were the one that was just trying to nurture them. And you were the biggest blessing to them. I'm hearing that song, The Best Thing I Never Had by Beyonce. You were the best thing that they could have had. And they fumbled the bag. And Spirit's saying, I think in the future or now, you're learning to be more discerning towards people and really get to know them and discern, like, if something's right or not for you, and discern if something's healthy. So it's helping you build a better foundation. But back to why they can't get you off their mind. I feel like they can't let go of you, and I feel like they're blaming themselves because they fumbled the bag. I feel like they're also looking at you transform, and they're looking at you grow and create something better within your life. I feel like they're looking at you transform into the butterfly you are and bloom and blossom into this version of yourself you are now. And I feel like there's something here of them knowing that they can't necessarily come back to you, because I feel like in some way you've healed a part of your self-worth where you know you deserve better. You know you deserve better than this, and they know they can't come back to you because you've come into this place where you know your worth. And there's this feeling of you lingering on their mind, you lingering in a part of their heart, but also them feeling a lot of guilt and remorse, and almost like having to admit where they went wrong or what they did wrong. And because you have moved on, now it's like the tables have turned, and now they're the ones trying to like beg for your forgiveness when you don't want them in your life anymore. Well, that's what I feel for most of you. I think most of all, they miss your heart. They miss the love you gave them. They miss the happiness and joy you brought into their life and the color you brought into their life. And they miss the blessing that you are and were to them. But now that blessing was snatched away from them because they never appreciated it. And I think in some way they have to admit where they went wrong. I don't know why Spirit gave messages in this way, more about like the connection and you rather than why they're not getting you off their mind. But I think Spirit maybe wanted to give those messages to you for healing. So now let's pull a few cards from the Chrysalis Tarot for why they can't get you off their mind. And then we're going to use the Oracle cards. So why they can't get pile number 3 off their mind. We have the Ace of Spirals, which is the Ace of Wands again. They're spiraling in their mind about you. About the fact that they've lost you, about the fact that you've transformed and moved on. And I feel them ruminating. I feel them spiraling in their mind like, I can't let go of you. It's like you were that rose to them. That song, I Wish You Roses by Kali Uchis could be significant. And the song, I'm also hearing the song Black Roses by Charlie XCX. I feel like you were that beautiful, vibrant rose to them. And roses represent romance. It represents love. It doesn't have to be romance, but it represents love. It represents beauty. You were such a beautiful soul, and you are such a beautiful soul. And now they're realizing what they've lost. There was so much passion here, so much intense emotions here. And they could have really had the best gift, the best blessing from the universe and kept it and, treated this rose right, kept this rose alive. Like, think of this rose as you. You're the rose and you're a gift from the universe. They can either have a choice to plant this rose and to put it in the ground and create a garden and to water these roses and to treat them good so that they continue blooming and so that they can continue looking at these beautiful roses and appreciating them and having them. Or they could neglect these roses, Bella Rosa the devil. They could neglect these roses. Even here we see a rose, interesting. They could neglect these roses, treat these roses like rubbish, even though you're not meant to be treated that way. And then these roses die, which is metaphoric for you going out of their life and the roses going to someone that actually will take care of these roses, if that makes sense. And now the universe is mirroring back to them their own devil qualities. I mean, they're showing up as the devil twice from 2 different decks. And here we see a dragon eating its own tail in an infinity symbol. And if you know about the snake eating its own tail, it can sometimes, well, there are negative and positive associations to it, but it can sometimes mean like self-sabotaging behavior. I feel like for some of you, there was this kind of feeling of this person wanting to play games with you and have that power over you. But a rose is not meant to be taken out of the ground and have power over. A rose is meant to be cherished and loved and watered and nurtured. So this person had the wrong way of treating you, and now they're realizing where they went wrong. And the guilt is eating at their psyche. The realization that the universe is never going to give them the same blessing again unless they work on themselves. Because I feel like they've been trying to find, back to that stranger song we heard in the beginning, they're trying to find someone like you in a stranger, but they're realizing they can't. They're trying to move on and pretend they don't care, but they do care. And one thing I've seen with this energy, I've seen actual people like this where they get a blessing and they don't appreciate it, and then it gets taken away from them from the universe because they're not cherishing the blessing they got, and then they complain about it and they're so like in this victim mode. But then the universe maybe tests them and gives them a small blessing to come back in their lives, but then they still don't learn. I feel like this person's not learning. And the universe is protecting you from them because they're not learning and they're not able to give you the love you know you deserve. I feel like if this person was to come back in your life, I don't think they have learned from this. Even if they're guilty, even if they're remorseful, and that guilt is eating them up, at least they have a conscience, but I don't see them changing. I don't see them taking active steps to want to change. I see them more so trying to cover up that guilt by looking for pieces of you in others. But they're never going to find you in someone else, ever. Because you're one of a kind. You're a rare gem, my pile threes. And that's why they can't get you out of their mind. I'm also clairvoyantly seeing a phone. They could be going over past chats, past messages with you. They could be checking out your social media. I'm smelling food. They could be, if you two like ate together or had certain things you do together. Like, I'm thinking of certain relationships and like food is their thing, or certain relationships where music is their thing, or they go to this certain place and that's their thing. It's like this person can't do those things anymore without thinking about you. Whatever your thing was that you like to do, even if it was you two chilling in their room, like now when they're in their room, all they can think about is you, the memory of you. And here we see like almost like a tear, but it looks like it's camouflage. So I think this person is trying to hide the pain they feel for not having you in their life, because it's like you were their sunshine, but now there's no sunshine anymore. It's dark. It's lonely. We have the Three of Spirals, which is the Three of Wands. We have the Artist with the Queen of Stones. Funny you chose the Muse Tarot and we have the Artist. This is the Queen of Pentacles again. I think you were kind of like a muse to them, like you chose the Muse Tarot. If you're artistic, that's coming through. You could be this really colorful person that paints their whole world with color, and now their whole world is bleak and dark and lonely. And they're missing that color you brought in. They're missing the light you brought in. But now they're seeing you paint a different reality without them, and continue growing elsewhere without them, continue blooming elsewhere without them. And now I keep seeing this message of they're realizing what they took for granted. Let's get 2 more cards and then we're going to get some oracle cards. We have the Ravens with the Magician. Yeah, you're creating a different life without them, and you're seeing their true colors for who they really are and not who they presented themselves to be. We have the Six of Mirrors in the reverse. This is the Six of Cups in reverse. They can't let go of the past with you. 8 of Scrolls at the back of the deck. They're stuck. This is the 8 of Swords. So they feel stuck in the memory of you. They feel stuck within that, and they feel like they can't let go. And now they've seen you transform. They've seen you grow. They've seen you bloom. They've seen you move on and create your happiness elsewhere. But they feel unhappy. They feel stuck. And that's not me wishing that on them, but that's me reading the energy. They could also be trying to get readings on you, or dreaming about you, or something like that. But they can't move on from the past or let go of it. They're like stuck in limbo there. Like Spirit is showing me Sabrina. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, when she goes to limbo, like that realm where souls are just like there and they haven't moved on to heaven or to the lower realms. I don't know if I believe in that, but anyways, just this is a story, a metaphor here. So this person's in limbo. They're feeling like they can't move on. One card from this Astral Realms Oracle for a message from their higher self, please, to my pal threes, and why they can't get them out of their head. So we have Red Jasper, Etman, Star, Conviction, card 25. I keep seeing the same message of the fact that it's like the memory of you is there, and now the universe is showing them a mirror of the wrong they've done to you. Because conviction, when you look up the word, it says something like someone's convicted of their crimes, you know. So I feel like maybe they're also getting karma for the wrong they've brought you, for the hurt they've brought you and the pain and the betrayals. And the universe is just showing them a mirror of their own negative traits. We have Trust at the back of the deck. They broke your trust and now they can never get it back. And their higher self knows that they have done something wrong, and that this is the process where they need to admit their wrongs and face it, so that they can grow from it if they want to work on themselves. But it's like their higher self knows that free will is applicable here, and this person needs to take their free will to actually grow and change. They need to want to change. So a message from their higher self, 1222 on the clock, for why they can't get pile 3 out of their mind. We have the golden children with inner child tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. And we have cracked open rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. They're not doing okay without you, though they're trying to look like they're okay. In some way, it's like you're serving a purpose. We have double mission at the back of the deck. You're showing them a mirror of their shadow side. And they can't escape that. They can't run from that. That's something they need to admit. They're really not doing well without you. I mean, we have rock bottom here. You made them feel like a kid. You made them feel so much color, and now that color is taken away. It feels like they're almost in a jail cell, locked up with no color. So this was your reading, Pile 3. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!